Well, so for this week, uh, anything pissing you off this week?
Always, Kyle. It's never a time to not piss me off. I'm just that
I'm going to
grumpy
stop
old
asking
man.
it as a question and just
that,
say, tell us what's pissing you
that
off
that's
this
yeah,
week.
that's absolutely. It's it's I'm the the get off my lawn kind of guy. I think I just sit out there and yell at kids to get off my lawn. That's not true, but I feel like I'm turning into that old guy. And the get off the lawn issue this week is ballot initiatives. Get off my ballot. How many of them are there?
We're at 14 now, and I
14.
and I find it hilarious because a few weeks ago I thought there was 10, and then I thought there was 3, and then I thought there was 8, and then pops up this week. We're going to end up with 14 ballot issues this
Yeah,
November.
and here's a confusion. There were a bunch that were done by Citizen Initiative,
Yep.
and we've talked about those already. But what we hadn't talked about were the ones that were put on the ballot by the state legislature.
Yeah.
So
And
14.
yeah, and I mean, there's expanding the eligibility for the homestead exemption for veteran homeowners. There's establishing an independent judicial discipline adjudicative board, uh, making it so if you're charged with first degree murder, you're ineligible for bail. It just goes on and on. My fear is by the time you get through the 14 state issues and get down to your local races and issues, there's people that are going to be exhausted. I mean, we should be recommending to people that they fill out their ballot in like 2 different sessions so they can get some food and sleep in between.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just real quick, we can talk about all of them here. There are 7 constitutional ones, 7 statutory ones. And by the way, if you print it out on an 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, the U.S. Constitution, it's like, just a few pages. You print out Colorado's Constitution, 8.5 by 11 pages, it's like a freaking ream of paper, right? At what point does a constitution really not become much of a constitution? But
Yeah.
but back specifically to the one about making people ineligible for bail if they're accused of first degree murder. That one's all about the state Supreme Court had a ruling and said, everybody should be eligible for bail. Doesn't mean that they have to get it, but they
Yeah.
should be eligible for bail. And I'll tell you, I've been in politics for a long time, and a lot of people piss me off over the years. So, as a guy who's probably going to be charged with first degree murder at some, no, I'm kidding. I don't support that one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm NSA. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, 7 statutory, 7 constitutional. It is just ridiculous the number of things that are on the ballot.
I'm trying to there was something else that I thought was incredibly interesting.
Yeah,
And
what do you want
now,
to
of
know? I got them
course,
all right here.
um, I'm not able to find what I was looking at earlier. So, but we do have several weeks between now and election day, and we can talk through these a little bit more as we go along. I don't know if there's any that you saw on the list today that got your attention, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, let me highlight just a couple of them for you. The um, the abortion one, I mean, I've said this before. I think it's unnecessary. We don't need it in the state of Colorado. Currently in Colorado, you can have an abortion up until the day before you deliver the baby. Um, and that's not going to change. It hasn't changed in years and years and years. Any sort of federal issue isn't going to change that either. And to me, that one is just all about trying to motivate Democrats to come out and vote. That's a strategy that they've taken in a lot of states. They're doing it here. The K through 12 equal rights to education one. I am a strong believer in choice in education. I think that's something that's incredibly important. You know, I was homeschooled from 6th grade on. Maybe perhaps that's an indictment on choice in education. You know, my parents raised a lawyer politician. Where did they go wrong? But it seems to me that one is just so vague. You know, like, what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we want everybody to have the right to education, but what does it mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that'll be interesting to see how far that one gets any traction.
Prop KK is another one that I was paying a little bit of an attention to, and it's um, the goal there is to basically tax ammunition, firearms, and you know, other, you know, kind of gun related products beyond, you know, normal sales tax taxation. They want to,
Yeah.
you know, create a specific tax for that. You know, and the way the ballot language reads, you know, people are creative, and this just drives me crazy. They make it sound like the tax is on the dealers or the, you know, the sellers of
Yeah.
the ammunition. You know, so hey, you know, you're as a regular citizen, this isn't going to impact you because the tax is on them. No, it's a freaking sales tax. What's that going to do? Just get passed right on to the you know, to the as a sales tax of some sort. It's going to get passed on to the purchasers. So one that I'm definitely opposed to there. But yeah, we will cover all the rest of them as time moves on, and maybe we'll hit a couple of them each week. And you know, by the way, if you're a listener out there and you want more information on any of these ballot initiatives or anything else, please reach out to us in our social media. You can, you know, reach out to us on Facebook. You can reach out to us via YouTube, or you can even send us an email if you'd like. info@wehaveissues.co, info@wehaveissues.co. We'd love to have your feedback.
Yeah. That would be, I think it'd be interesting to answer some of those over the upcoming weeks. And I think we might even try and get some proponents and opponents of some of these issues on here to hopefully provide a little clarity to the voters of Colorado.
Any of them in particular that you're tuning into?
You know, again, I go back to, and well, this might be a matter of clarity. I thought the issue when we had Kent Theory and Dick Wadhams on, I thought that was issue 310. Now it's looking like it's Proposition 131.
So
And
so it was the number it got before it got certified to the ballot was 310.
okay, okay. So it is Proposition 131 going forward. Obviously, as I said when they were on the show, that's one I'm in favor of. So I'm really anxious to see how that goes.
Which,
As,
by the way, is a statutory change that only requires 50% of the vote to pass.
yes.
Any of the constitutional amendments require 55% to pass.
Yeah. So, no, I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And again, I think hopefully here in a couple of weeks, we're going to have another big announcement that we're going to get to make, and kind of looking forward to that, and making that announcement to our listeners. And
Stay tuned. Mark and Kyle and Mark are growing. It is it's some amazing stuff that's kind of happening out there, and it's so excited. Can't wait to, once everything gets finalized, be able to pass on that information to our listeners. It's going to be cool.
absolutely. Well, this is Kyle Blakely and Mark Waller again with another episode of We Have Issues. Again, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow us or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kyle.